Namaste, Namaskar, good afternoon. Welcome to virtual class. Dear students, listeners, and viewers. I am Dr. Chandeswar Yadav again before you with English subject. So, dear students, last day we studied unit second of class 10 and we talked about debate competition and we studied the ideas forwarded by these two participants, Karma and Kavita. And last day we also completed the question or the exercise given in the page number 15 and in 16. Dear students, but after that in your book page number 17 another item is given. Basically grammatical item is given. So today we are going to talk about such grammatical item. So dear students, today I am going to discuss about direct and indirect speech. So direct and indirect speech, that is the topic of today. So dear students, even this direct and indirect speech is also said to be narration. So talking about narration, we should learn about something. So here or whenever talking about narration or direct and indirect speech, we will talk here introduction of direct speech and indirect speech. In the same way, we will also discuss here about reporting and reported speech, or what is reporting speech and what is reported speech, that we will also discuss. Again, change for making indirect or how direct speech can be changed into indirect speech, that thing we also discuss today. Again, other thing that we should know, doing the or changing direct speech into indirect speech, we should know about change in person. In the same way, we should learn the change in tenses, change in adverbs, change in models, change in sentences. These things we should learn, dear students. Not only that, even we will learn change in assertive sentences, or how assertive sentence can be changed into indirect speech, that we also discuss here. In the same way, we will discuss change in exclamatory sentences, or how exclamatory sentence can be changed into indirect speech that we will also discuss here. In the same way, change in interrogative sentences or how interrogative sentences can be changed into direct to indirect, and we will discuss change in imperative sentence or how if the sentences are in direct speech in imperative sentence, then how those sentences can be changed into indirect speech. This thing we will discuss here. So dear students, these are the topic we will discuss here, and these things are very essential to know about direct and indirect speech. So my dear students, let's discuss or let's try to understand what is direct speech and what is indirect speech. So there are two ways to convey a message of a person or the words spoken by a person to other person. It means we can transmit our message, we can convey our message to other person in two ways. One way is direct speech, another is indirect speech. So in direct speech, if the speaker, if the person says something and we transmit that message without changing anything, if we transmit message from one person to another person, then it is direct speech. So here, as you can see in the example, so here you can see Ram said, I will give you a book. So this sentence is written in direct speech. So here what you see that Ram has said something, and what he has said, I will give you a book. This particular sentence is uttered by, spoken by Mr. Ram, and without doing any type of transition, the sentence is written here, said here. So if without changing whatever the speaker has said, if we transmit such sentence to other person, then it is direct speech. So whenever writing in direct speech, then as you can say, as here said, so Ram said, then comma, after that inverted comma is there, and under or an inverted comma, I will give you a book is there. Then after again you can see inverted comma is there. So this is the example of direct speech. In the same way, we can convey a message to other person by changing something from direct speech. So if we change something from a direct speech to transmit the idea from one person to another person, then it is called indirect speech. So in indirect speech, though essence of the sentence is same, but structure of the sentence is little bit different, as in the example you can see here. So as here said, Ram said that he would give me a book. So this particular sentence is written in indirect speech. So here what you see is that in indirect speech, neither comma is there nor that inverted comma is there. And one more thing you can see here, instead of comma and inverted comma, that is used here. In the same way, I is changed into he and will is changed into would. So here what you see is that in indirect speech something are omitted, something are added, and message of the sentence is the same. So if we convey the message doing some changes in the speaker's sentence, then it is called indirect speech that you see here, dear students. Now again you can see, or it is it is very essential to know what is a reporting speech and what is a reported speech. So before knowing or without knowing about reporting speech and reported speech, it is tough to change from direct to indirect. So dear students, try to understand here the given sentence. So as here you can see, he said, comma, inverted comma is there, he likes apples. Then after inverted comma is there and full stop is here. So this particular sentence is written also in direct speech. And so what you see here in direct speech, two parts are there. One part is written within the inverted comma, another part is there outside the inverted comma. So whatever part is without or whatever part is outside the inverted comma, that is called a reporting speech. Again, try to listen carefully, try to understand whatever part of a sentence that is outside the inverted comma, that is called a reporting speech, and whatever part is written within the inverted comma, that is called a reported speech, dear students. In the same way, what you should learn is that even outside the inverted comma, one part is there where you can see he said is written here. So he is a reporting verb, reporting subject, and said is a reporting verb. So outside the inverted comma, one part is there where two part is there. One is subject, another is verb. So subject is called a reporting subject and verb is called a reporting verb, dear students. So this thing we should keep in our mind. So again, I hope, dear student, you understand what is reporting speech and what is reported speech. So now, whenever changing the direct speech into indirect speech, we should know this thing or we should do something. So changes for making indirect speech. So whenever you are changing the sentence into indirect speech, you should do following things. As you can see, omission of commas. So as you have studied, as I have said you that in direct speech there is the use of comma and inverted comma. So comma and inverted comma are used in direct speech. So whatever such comma and inverted comma are there, such comma and inverted comma should be omitted in indirect speech. That thing you should do first. Another thing, use of that. So instead of comma and inverted comma, mostly that is used as connector. So again, listen it. In indirect speech, instead of comma and inverted comma, mostly as a connector that is used. Other thing you should do is change of pronoun or change of person. So changing from direct to indirect, uh, the one more thing you should do, that is change of person or that is change of pronoun. Other thing that you should change is the change of tense, or the tense of reported speech is also changed, dear student. Again, one more thing that you should do is change of adverb. So changing from direct to indirect, we should or you should change the adverbs given in the direct what reported speech. So this thing we should do whenever changing it from direct to indirect speech. So dear student, these are the things, these are the rules you should do whenever changing from direct to indirect. Now again I'm talking about the change of pronoun or change of person. So dear student, I hope that you know there are 3% or there are 3% that you know. I hope, dear student. And these 3% are first person, second person, and third person. So I hope that under first person I and we are there, under second person you is there, and in third person he, she, it, and they are there. So these are the 3%: first person, second person, and third person. So whenever the first person is used in reported speech, if first person is used in reported speech, then such first person can be changed according to subject of reporting speech, dear student. So listen it again carefully. If first person is used in uh, reported speech, then such first person can be changed into changed according to subject of reporting speech. So try to understand it through one example. So as here I am presenting one example. So example is, he said to me, I like coffee. He said to me, I like coffee is one of the sentence written in direct speech. So whenever changing it into indirect speech, you can see in within inverted comma, I like coffee is there, that is reported speech. And where you can see I as a subject is there, and I have said you I and we are first person. So here I as a first person is used, and as I have said you that I can be changed according to subject of reporting a speech, so that here I can be changed according to he of the reporting speech, so that the indirect speech of he said to me I like coffee is he told me that he liked coffee. So here what you see is that I is changed into he, because I is the first person and subject of the reporting speech is he. That's why I is changed according to subject of the reporting speech. So this is about a first person, dear student. I hope you understand. Now let's talk about second person. And as I have said you that you is second person, and whenever this you is in a reported speech, then that second person changes according to uh, according to object of reporting a speech, or whatever is the object of reporting a speech is there, according to that object second person or you can be changed there. So again, let's see or try to understand one example I am presenting before you. So example is, he said to me, you look happy. He said to me, you look happy. This is the sentence. And this sentence is written also in direct speech, and in reporting is what reported speech you can see you is used there, and as just we have talked, you is one of the second person. And as you also know that, and just I have said you which is the second person can be changed according to object of the reporting speech, so that the indirect speech of the sentence is as the sentence is, he said to me, you look happy. And so this is the direct speech, and its indirect become, he told me that he looked happy. But listen it carefully. He told me that I looked happy. He told me that I looked happy. So here again you see you is changed into I, or you become I here, because in reporting a speech object is me. So according to this me, I is what you is converted into I. So dear student, this is about second person, and I hope you understand this second person as well. Now let's discuss about third person, and I hope, and even I have said you earlier that under third person he, she, it, and their plural they comes. So these are the third person. So whenever third person are used in direct speech, or basically in reported speech, then such third person requires no change. Or he, she, it, and they are not changed into other thing, or they requires no change. As one example I am presenting before you. So he said to me, he looks happy. He said to me, he looks happy. This is the sentence. This is written in uh, direct speech. So whenever changing this sentence into indirect speech, you can say, he told me that he looked happy. He told me that he looked happy. It became, because as you have seen, as you have heard, as I have said you that in reported speech, instead of first person and second person, I have used third person, that is he. So whenever third person is in the reported speech, then it can't be changed into other thing, or he requires no change in direct speech. So this is about change of person, dear student. So I hope you have understood about change of person or change of pronoun. And now let's discuss about the changes in tense in indirect speech. So how in indirect speech it can be changed. Also we are talking about that thing. So listen it carefully, dear students. So if we have present or future tense in reporting speech, if we have present or future tense in reporting speech, then there will be no need of change in tense of reported speech. As in other word, you should keep in your mind, if in the reporting speech present tense is there or future tense is there, then there is no need of changing the tense of reported speech, or the tense of reported speech will be remain unchanged if a reporting verb or reporting speech is in present tense or future tense. That thing you should keep in your mind. As one example I am presenting here, Palten says, I have won the match. Palten says, I have won the match. This is the sentence. And here you can see Palten says, that is in present simple tense. And in other part, I have won the match, that is written in present perfect tense. So as I have said you that if in reporting a speech present tense is there or future tense is there, then there will be no need of changing the tense of reported speech. That's why the indirect speech of Palten says, I have won the match. It's become Palten says that he has won the match, become the right answer. So dear student, I hope you have understood this thing. Again, another example I am presenting before you. Uh, Ram says, uh, Ram says, I will win the match. Ram says, I will win the match. This is the example. And here again you see that reporting speech is in present tense, and in reported speech future simple tense is there. That's why here again there is no need of changing the tense of a reported speech, so that the what Palten says, I will win the match, is the sentence, and changing it into indirect speech, it become Palten says that uh, he will win the match, become the indirect speech. So dear students, so this is about change of tense in indirect speech, though many more things are left about uh, this narration or about direct to indirect. So today even time is over. So dear student, uh, if you have any confusion about today's study, then you can contact with me. My phone number is 9844072807 is my phone number. Even you can contact with me at my email id. My email id is chandeshwaryadav15 at the rate of gmail.com. So thank you, my dear student. Have a nice day. Thank you.